I enjoy playing games with gyro aiming, and if you click on this video, you'll probably like them too. Here are 5 indie games I spent way too many hours building gyro configurations for, so you can use Steam to play them with motion controls too. By the way, this works on the Steam Deck and with literally any controller with gyro compatible with Steam. But before we start talking about indie games, I need to talk about an indie controller. The Indiegogo campaign for the Alpaca 2 just released. This is a premium gyro-to-mouse DIY controller with 4 gyro sensors and an improved build quality compared to the first Alpaca. Link for the campaign in the description. Now let's talk about indie games. I feel like indie games often have super strong aim assist, so gyro is actually really transformative on every game in this video. Because of the versatility of being able to just look around and perform different actions without needing to touch the right stick all that much, it feels really good. And that is very much the case with Witchfire. Witchfire wears its inspirations on its sleeves. You got builds and stats like a Souls-like, and item progressions like a roguelike, while not being a roguelike because the map doesn't change, so I guess it's like Ark Raiders or Monster Hunter. Whatever it is, it feels incredible to play, especially with gyro of course. Without gyro, the aim assist is so aggressive, it actually makes aiming a bit harder. Trying to target an enemy that is about to hit you feels slow and sticky. They try to help by only turning this sticky aim on when you aim down sights, but that will be like always because the hip fire might as well be the fire anywhere but the enemy button. Some perks only trigger if you headshot enemies while sliding, for example, which is nearly impossible to do if you can't aim and slide at the same time. So you can choose, do you want gyro to be active only when you press the aim button because it's less shaky and more consistent that way, or do you want it on all the time, making your aim much faster but requiring you to be a little more stable instead? It's up to you. I haven't gone far into the game yet, but my only real complaint is that the enemies don't seem to be all that different and magic takes a long time to recharge. And after killing a few waves of enemies, you might do a bit too much walking until you find the next wave of enemies. But this game is in early access, so I don't think these problems will be here for long. As it is in good shape, and it's a blast to play, especially with gyro aiming. Guys, I don't think I want to play this one. Highguard is the new free-to-play shooter on the block, where trying to predict when the game will close down forever is way more fun than actually playing the game. But how does it work exactly? You need to protect your base, then gather resources, grab a sword key, break into the enemy base, destroy 2 generators, and then the nexus. And you can also ride a horse. I think this game is a little convoluted. It tried to mix every rule from every genre to create the ultimate over-epic global offensive of Legends and ended up tasting like every soda mixed together. Or maybe this is just not for me. If you love it, tell me why in the comments. One thing that I liked about this game though is that it was surprisingly easy to create a gyro configuration for. Even with the game being packed with hold actions, double presses and whatnot, it handles simultaneous gamepad and mouse inputs really well. I'm surprised that the games my patrons picked for me to configure in these past 2 months have been really easy to configure. No, not you. And all of them feel like they were made to at least facilitate the use of gyro. And hey, that's pretty cool, especially since the Steam controller will be released this year and all of these games will play great with it, even the not so great ones. This game is absolutely freaking awesome! I freaking love this game, dude. Okay, I'll try to act normal while talking about this game, but it just feels so good! Oh! And it works so well with gyro, it's like a dream, oh my god! Okay, normal mode activated. It's just that this game scratches that itch on my neon white pilled brain that is just... In this game, you try to reach the exit of the level as fast as possible. Sounds simple, except that the clock for the max rank is always ticking, and killing enemies in cold ways adds more time, so you end up going like, out of my way, bullet for you, bullet for you, bullet for you, bullet for you, take that, thank you, pleon, 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 pleon. Oh my god, I fucking love video games. Of course, you won't reach that level of mastery on your first try, which actually makes this game a great option for gyro beginners. Like, you have to perfect your movement and try over and over again, and stay super mindful of every button press. And when you finally grab that S rank, you look at the scoreboard and you cry. Also, I didn't know where to fit this, but the writing is pretty funny too. Anyway, next game. Crunchy pixels and whoa, what? I didn't know that Moros Protocol was this kind of game. God damn. I have to say, this is a roguelike where you really start with nothing, not even a gun. It's just you, your trusty sword, and lots of aliens. You wake up from cryosleep and now you have to try to figure out what the heck is going on here. Why is everyone dead? Who are these aliens? And more importantly, how many more scenes with the huge booty lady can I get? The gameplay is really straightforward. Clear rooms, get loot, move on, die, upgrade, and repeat. It's simple but satisfying. One neat mechanic though is that you must choose which buffs to activate because you can't run them all at the same time. Then you can combine unused buffs into new ones. And speaking of combinations, there is co-op. I don't have friends who also own this game, but I heard it's pretty fun. Now, I have some complaints. You can't cancel your reload animation. You can dash, walk, run, but you can't jump. And some attacks can only be dodged by jumping. So why did they do that? This is the biggest complaint that everyone has about this game, but I'm a bitch, so I actually have one more complaint. On controller, menus are kind of weird, like circle doesn't close the menu, circle instead is like a quick equip button, so to go back to the game you have to press start again. Also, the D-pad doesn't work for some reason, and although mixed inputs work great on normal gameplay, I can't say the same for menus. So here's what I did. When the mouse cursor is on the screen, you can use gyro and select things with R2. When the mouse cursor isn't on the screen, you can now use the D-pad. I also added a toggle button so you can change between the gyro mode and the no gyro mode if you really need it. Just tap on the mute button or on the left trackpad or on the share button on Nintendo and have fun. If Ultra Kill is the boomer shooter for the autistic little gay boys, then Don't Stop Girlypop is for the girlies and queens. You walk very slowly, but dash waving through the map will deal more damage and recover your health. So do not stop moving. Now, I know my audience. As the alpha males that we are, we all know that every good game is just a dressing game. And this one lets you dress up your guns. The Y2K kind of Vertigo era aesthetic may not be for everyone's taste, but every visual style that would kill a Victorian child is a win in my book. And it's not all style and no substance. Weapons are varied with outfires that synergize well between them, plus deep movement mechanics like wave dashing, grappling hooks, wall slides, glory kills. It's a beautiful fever dream. But the most fascinating part? On controller, aiming and moving all at once is kinda tough, so they added a lock-on button, and it feels like Metroid Prime. Like, I usually hate strong aim assist, but I see the vision. Faster movement-based Metroid Prime for the girlies? Sign me up! And for my gyro config though, we are ditching the lock-on because we don't need it. Here's how it went. I wanted to be able to perform most of the important actions while not lifting my thumb from the right stick. Because even though we have gyro to look around with, lifting the thumb from the right stick means that we will need to reposition the controller a lot more often, so that's annoying. Because lifting the thumb from the right stick means that we will need to reposition the controller more often, which is very annoying. So you will stomp with L3, jump with L1 and dash with R1. Chain those together and you will increase your speed to do the maximum amount of damage. R3 will hook and glory kill enemies, R2 is the primary fire, L2 is the secondary fire, the east face button will parry, the west face button will reload, the south face button will pause gyro so you can reposition the controller, and it feels kind of incredible. I'm very surprised by that. The north face button will change weapons, and if you hold that button, you will open the weapon wheel. You can press select to dress up your arms and guns, start will pause, and you can also use the right trackpad of the DualSense, the DualShock 4, or most importantly, the Steam Deck and the Steam controller to control the camera. I've beaten the game with this layout and I can guarantee that it's a pretty good experience. You will not be disappointed. For more gyro layouts, you can support me on Patreon and check out my config collection. And if you like these indie games, you will probably like this video about the tightest game I've ever played. Shout out to my Patreons, Christopher Fox, Thena Oath, Easy, Ars Poetic, and Oryx Gazella. Thank you so much for watching.